Good evening and welcome. This is Primetime News coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I am Shahin Durrangpati.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Before we head into the news in detail, here's a look at the headlines for tonight.
Strong words from the President on those in government robbing the people. Prices of 6 essential food items reduced on eve of budget. 2 ships carrying fuel to arrive in the country tonight. Sytem abolished by the 31st of December, says Deputy Minister Dr. Harsha DaSilva. Statement by MP Mujibur Rahman regarding the death of Wasim Raja Deen.
Addressing the second commemoration of Venerable Maduluwa Wisobi III, President Maithripala Sirisena expressed these views.
ජනතාව ජයග්‍රහණය කළ අරමුණු ඉෂ්ට කර ගැනීම සඳහා රජයේ බාරගත් අයගේ කැපවීම කොතෙක් දුරට ඉෂ්ට වී තිබේද කියන කාරණාව අප විසින් සමාලෝචනය කළ යුතු වෙනවා. අප විසින් අධ්‍යයනය කළ යුතු වෙනවා. මට කිව හැකි දේවල් වගේම කිය නොහැකි දේවලුත් තියෙනවා. අපි ඒ වැරදි දූෂිත පාලනයක් පෙරලලා අපි ආණ්ඩුවක් පිහිටෙව්වේ ඇයි? සාමාන්‍ය රටේ පොදු ජනතාව අපේ ආණ්ඩුවට ආදරයට කතා කරන අය කියනවා යහපාලන ආණ්ඩුව කියලා. ආණ්ඩුව අපහාසයට සහ උපහාසයට ලක් කරන අය කියනවා යහපාලන ආණ්ඩුව කියලා. ඒක තමයි ඇත්ත තත්ත්වය. අපි අපේ හෘද සාක්ෂියෙන් අහන්න ඕනේ. වැරදි කරපු මිනිස්සුන්ට අපි ඇඟිල්ල දික් කරනවා වගේම වැරදි කරපු මිනිස්සුන්ට දඬුවම් දිය යුතුයි වගේම අපේ වැඩේ අපි හරියට කරනවාද කියන කාරණා. වැරදි නම් වැරදි දේ කවුරු කළත් වැරදි. වැරදි කරන සියලු දෙනාට විරුද්ධව ආණ්ඩුවේද විපක්ෂයේද කොහෙද කොතනද ඕන කෙනෙකුට විරුද්ධව නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඕනේ. අපි හොඳට බැනුම් අහනවා පෙට්‍රල් ප්‍රශ්නෙට. හොඳට බැනුම් අහනවා. මගේ කෑලි ගලවනවා. මට බයිනා හිතාගෙන ඉන්නවා මම තමයි මේ පෙට්‍රල් බෙදන්නේ කියලා මේ ෂෙඩ් වලට. ඉස්පිරිතාලේ වැඩ වර්ජනයක් වුණා මට බයිනවා. හිතාගෙන ඉන්නේ මම තමයි ගිහිල්ලා බෙහෙත් දෙන්නේ කියලා. පාසලක ළමයි දාගන්න බැරි වුණාම ජනාධිපති තමයි වැරදිකාරයා. හිතන්නේ ජනාධිපති තමයි ළමයි දාන්නේ. මේකට හේතුවක් තියෙනවා. ඒ ජනතාවගේ පැත්තෙන් එහෙම හිතන එක බණින එක හරි. හේතුව මොකක්ද? ජනාධිපතිවරු පුරුදු කරලා තියෙනවා මේ හැමදේම ජනාධිපතිවරයා විසින් කරලා. ඒක තමයි ඇත්ත කතාව. මේ රටේ ජනාධිපතිවරු පෙට්‍රල් ෂෙඩ් වල තෙල් ගහපු නැති එක විතරයි මම හිතන්නේ නොකලේ. අනිත් ඔක්කොම කළා. වැරදි කරපු ඕනෑම කෙනෙකුට වැරද්දට විරුද්ධව ක්‍රියා කිරීම, දඬුවම් කිරීම ඒකට කාටවත් විරුද්ධ වෙන්න බෑ. ඒක හරියට ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඕන. ඒක ක්‍රියාත්මක නොවන එක තමයි මටත් ප්‍රශ්නේ. මහ බැංකුවේ සිදු අක්‍රමිකතා සම්බන්ධයෙන් පත් කරලා තිබෙන ජනාධිපති කොමිෂන් සභාව මම පත් කිරීම පිළිබඳව ආණ්ඩුවේම ඉතා සුළු පිරිසක් මට විරුද්ධව දැන් ලෙස චෝදනා කරනවා. ඉතා සුළු පිරිසක් ඒ පිළිබඳව බරපතල වැරදි විග්‍රහයක් කරනවා මං ගැන. ඉතා සුළු පිරිසක් ආණ්ඩුවේ මට විරුද්ධව Facebook වෙබ්සයිට් කැම්පේන් සතියන්ත පුවත්පත්වල පිටු ගණන් ලියනේවා වෙනත් අය අල්ලගෙන සල්ලි වියදම් කරලා අද ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා. ලංකාවෙන් පිට තියෙන මාධ්‍ය ආයතන අල්ලගෙන ඒවට සල්ලි දීලා වියදම් කරලා ආණ්ඩුවේම සමහර අය අද මට ගහනවා. ඇයි මේ? ඇයි මේ? මෙස් මහ බැංකුවේ සිද්ධියට ජනාධිපති කොමිසමක් පත් කිරීම. මම මේක සෝබිත හාමුදුරන්ගේ ගුණ සමරුව වෙලාවේ කියන්නේ. සෝබිත හාමුදුරන්ගේ ගුණ සමරුව වෙලාවේ කියන්නේ සෝබිත හාමුදුරුවාද ජීවත් වෙලා හිටියානම් ජීවමානව වෙලා හිටියානම් සෝබිත හාමුදුරුවෝ මට උන්වහන්සේ මට උපහාරයක් තියෙනවා මම කරේ හරි දේ කියලා හිතනවා. අපි මෙතෙන්ට ආවේ මොනවටද? අපි තිබුණු ආණ්ඩුව වෙනස් කළේ මොනවටද? අපේ අරමුණ කුමක්ද? අපි ආවේ සාක්කු පුරා ගන්න. අපි ආවේ හොරගම් කරන්න. මට ප්‍රසිද්ධිය කියන්න බැරි දේවල් බොහොම දේවල් තියෙනවා. මම දැන් මෙතන ඉඳගෙන ඉන්න ගමනොත් මම මේ ඇමතිතුමාලට මේ ඊයේ අද දවසේ මේ දවස්වල වෙන සිද්ධියක් ගැන කිව්වා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා අපි ආවේ ඒ විදිහේ ආණ්ඩුවක් කරන්න නම් ඒ විදිහේ ආණ්ඩුවක් කරන්න ඕනේ. මිනිස්සුන්ට සේවය කරන්න නම් මිනිස්සුන්ට සේවය කරන්න ඕනේ. අපේ අරමුණ පවිත්‍ර චේතනාවෙන් නම් ඒ චේතනාව ඉෂ්ට කරගන්න වැඩ කරන්න. අපිට තවමත් කාලය තියෙනවා. තවමත් කාලය තියෙනවා. අවුරුදු 3ක් කරපු හොඳ වැඩ කතා කරලා ජනතාවට කියන්න වගේම අවුරුදු 3ක් කරපු සමහර අයගේ වැරදි වැඩ නිවැරදි කරගෙන ආණ්ඩුවක් විදිහට ඉස්සරහට යන්න. විපක්ෂයෙන් මට ගහන ඒවට මට මුණ දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ආණ්ඩුවෙන් ගහන ඒවටත් මට මුණ දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ආණ්ඩුවේ කොටසක් ගහන අයට මම මේ කියන්නේ. නමුත් ආණ්ඩුවේ කොටසක් මට ගහනවා නම් සෝබිත ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙච්ච අරමුණ ඉෂ්ට කිරීමට විරුද්ධවයි ඒ ගැහිල්ල ගහන්නේ. මම ඒක බොහොම පැහැදිලිව කියන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා මේ සියලු දේවල් එක්ක අපේ ප්‍රතිපත්තිය යුත්තේ අපේ වගකීම යුත්තේ අපේ යුතුයකම යුත්තේ රට වෙනුවෙන් රටේ ජනතාව වෙනුවෙන් උන්වහන්සේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙච්ච ඒ සාධාරණ සමාජයක් උදෙසා වූ ඒ සියල්ල ඉටු කිරීමයි.
Addressing a second commemoration event organised in remembrance of late Venerable Maduluwave Sobhita Thera, Professor Sarath Vijayasuriya expressed these views. The people that we claimed were corrupt back then are now levelling corruption allegations against the current government. We have to accept that at present people are protecting the Rajapaksas. This is a crime. The justice who delivered the verdict regarding the murder of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra was transferred within 2 weeks from the Colombo High Court. A justice who freed suspects from all the charges received a promotion. What example does this give to the people? A parliamentarian who was bitten by a snake said whatever verdict is delivered, they would challenge it in the Supreme Court. The operation to appoint people that Basil Rajapaksa wants into the Supreme Court is currently proving to be successful. We want Sri Lanka to become one which abides by the rule of law before it becomes a Singapore. We want the protection and nurture of friends to come to an end. People who are to be arrested roam the capital unseen. It may be because the police is busy meditating. They attend galas and dinners at 5-star hotels. We have our doubts whether the intelligence officers have attained some form of enlightenment. I have my doubts as to why the IGP is engaging in meditation. Is it because the police is not being allowed to enact the law according to their conscience?
Prices of several essential goods have been reduced with effect from midnight tonight, a day before the 2018 budget is presented to Parliament. Speaking to the media, Finance Minister Mangala Samaravira elaborated on the reduction and hinted about fuel prices as well.
The prices will be reduced with effect from midnight. The import tax on potatoes and big onions have been reduced by 39 rupees, while the tax on a kilogram of dal has been reduced by 12 rupees. Tax on dry fish will be brought down by 50 rupees. The tax on coconut oil and vegetable oil has been reduced by 25 rupees. We hope following the reduction of taxes on oil, the price of coconuts will also reduce. Prices of potatoes, big onions, oil, dried fish and dal have been reduced significantly. This is a relief for the people. Usually, before a budget is presented by a finance minister, there is an increase in taxes. However, we are pleased to announce a reduction of prices.
Questions were also posed regarding fuel prices.
We are disturbed regarding the situation surrounding the fuel prices. We apologize to the people regarding that. I believe there will be a special news report on that at another forum.
Be patient.
The 2018 budget will be presented to Parliament tomorrow. The 72nd budget of Sri Lanka will be presented to Parliament at 3 p.m. by its 21st Finance Minister Mangala Samaravira. This is incidentally the first budget presented by Minister Mangala Samaravira after being appointed as the Minister of Finance several months ago. This is also the third budget of the Government of Good Governance.
It's D-Day for the people of Sri Lanka tomorrow. It's B-Day, Budget Day 2018 for the government in power. Did the budget 2017 make you rich? The answer, in simple terms, is in 3 words. We don't know. How has the government performed in the year 2017, the first 6 months of the year? Thanks to various research, we were able to unearth some very important information. Now, as you can see from this pie chart, 51% of the budget proposals where details are not available amount to a staggering 67 billion. We know details of this 49%. Let's go one by one. It's very simple. 14% of the budget proposals, as you can see, have not been carried out. 32% are behind schedule, and only a mere 3% of the budget promises have been carried out by the government so far, which accounts to only 49%. When you take a look at these numbers very clearly, you can very clearly see that 51% of the budget promises we don't know details of. And from the 49%, as I did correctly mention to you before, we know that 3% out of which it is on track or ahead of schedule, 32% behind schedule, and 14% your heart has been broken by the government. Now, if we are to score the government of the 2017 budget promises, we can only go on the above details, which is a 3% success rate of only 80% of the total expenditure allocation in the budget. As ministries have not revealed details of expenditure, no marks can be given for work not handed in.
A person met a friend at a tavern when the bus stopped. Just like that, the ship turned back. The refinery shut down and the filling stations closed down on the same day. Everything happened in sequence.
As the fuel crisis becomes the #1 topic in the political fora, it is the people who are seriously disrupted by the shortage of petrol.
The Secretary of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources Development, Upali Marasinghe, said around 3,000 metric tons of fuel is released on a daily basis. However, the situation at many filling stations told a different story.
It is better if the situation ends soon. If this situation continues, we won't be able to pay the lease. People wait in line for hours at filling stations without petrol.
According to Upali Marasinghe, the Secretary to the Ministry, a vessel carrying 40,000 metric tons of petrol will reach Colombo around 11:30 tonight. The Secretary to the Ministry said a request had been made to obtain fuel from a vessel bound to the Maldives.
It will take around 8 to 10 hours to test the samples. We hope to complete the tests by tomorrow morning and unload the fuel. By 11 tomorrow morning, we start the unloading. Fuel can be distributed among the bouses by 2 in the afternoon.
The Secretary to the Ministry said a request had been made to obtain fuel from a vessel bound to the Maldives.
We made the request yesterday. We requested for a consignment of fuel from that vessel. We informed them we will not make a payment but will provide a similar consignment of replacement fuel. We are waiting for an official response. That may be a success. Today, the President and the Prime Minister have held discussions with India to bring another fuel vessel to Colombo. That vessel will reach the country tomorrow, so nobody needs to have any fear about any fuel shortage.
The tanker Tom Astrid, which is said to have carried the substandard fuel, remains anchored in the outer harbour of Trincomalee. In addition, another tanker, Unique Developer, sailing under a Hong Kong flag, which was anchored in the inner harbour, is currently in the outer harbour of Trincomalee.
අද රාත්‍රියට නැව් දෙකක් එනවා. එකක්
2 ships will be arriving tonight. The vessel from Singapore will berth today. Another ship is making its way from India. By tomorrow, we will be able to provide fuel to areas in Colombo. By Friday, we will be able to supply fuel to other areas as well.
අනිද්දා වෙනකොට පිට පළාත් වලට සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ඉන්ධන ටික සපයදයි.
මේකේ වග කියන්නේ කවුද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ
වග කියන්නේ ඉතින් ඉන්ධන අමාත්‍යාංශයත් ඉන්ධන පෙට්‍රල් සංස්ථාවත් ඉන්ධන සංස්ථාව.
දඬුවමක් එහෙම දෙන්න එහෙම පරීක්ෂණ.
ඒකට තමයි දැන් ওই පරීක්ෂණයට කොමිටියක් පත් කරලා තියෙන්නේ ඒකට.
තෙල් ස්ටොක් එකක් තියාගැනීමේ අර්බුදය තියෙනදී අපි බැලුවේ ඒකයි අපි.
There is an issue in maintaining a proper reserve. We debated this at length during the cabinet meeting yesterday. Even Minister Arjuna Ranatunga asked for a proper inquiry into this. The COP reports clearly state that substandard fuel imported during 2011 to 2012 has cost us 8.3 billion. The 31st tank in Kolonava has not been repaired in about a year and a half. That has a storage capacity of 15,000 metric tons. This has black oil. This should be done by the officials.
black oil තියෙනදී මේවා මේ නිලධාරීන් කරන්න ඕන වැඩක්.
අර්ජුන රණතුංග ඇමතිවරයා කිව්වහම මට බලපෑම් කරා කියලා ජනාධිපතිතුමාවත් අගමැතිතුමාවත් කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයේදී අහන්නේ නැහැ.
කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයේදී එහෙම එකක් කිව්වෙත් නැහැ. කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයේ
This was not spoken of during the meeting. We asked him better questions than even you can. People like Minister Dayasiri increased the volume to the max and asked their questions. There were no criticisms, only questions. All the ministers posed questions. He also did the same.
Meanwhile, Cabinet has granted approval to establish a separate High Court for taking trials and offences on public properties, including money laundering, financing terrorism, bribery and corruption, which includes three bench tribunals.
A decision has been taken to establish a High Court which includes three bench tribunals named by the Chief Justice. Based on the request of the Attorney General and the Chief Justice's approval, cases regarding specified crimes will be transferred to this High Court. The public will be able to directly appeal to the Supreme Court regarding the decisions of this High Court. The legal draftsman was instructed to draft necessary legislation. The proposal was forwarded by Justice Minister Thalata Atukorala and it received cabinet approval.
In an unprecedented move, Deputy Minister Dr. Harsha DaSilva announced Sytem will be abolished by the 31st of December.
Enrolling new medical students to the Sytem medical campus was suspended based on a letter issued by the Secretary to the Ministry of Higher Education on the 15th of September. This suspension will continue to remain in place. New students will not be registered with Sytem. We will also take steps to abolish Sytem. The new committee appointed by the President will discuss how the remaining medical students should complete their education and provide necessary recommendations. The above-mentioned decision will be enacted through Act No. 16 of 1978 and other relevant legislation. I have presented this report as the chairman of the committee. We hope to discuss this with all parties involved. This is a positive decision and we worked hard to come to this middle ground. As the government, we make a request to move ahead based on the release issued by the President in a democratic manner. I hope we will receive the support to conclude these steps by the 31st of December.
Former Medical Council Chief Professor Carlo Fonseca was present at the site of a fast unto death launched by the parents of medical faculty students.
We did not reach such a position because of fast. The situation has favored us even more than we expected. We must not assume the war was won because of the fast. Step by step, the government is moving towards our position. They cannot refute it. They must face an exam and must receive training according to proper standards. The government is heeding our demands. I plead from you, do not sacrifice lives for this. It only discourages us and disappoints us.
We will be crossing over a short commercial break. Stay with News First.
Welcome back. You're watching news on Primetime News and TV1. Ravindra Samaraveera, the State Minister of Labour, attended a media briefing at the UNP headquarters in Sirikota. The State Minister received a telephone call before speaking to reporters and his response was recorded on camera.
Hello. Oh, Hari Shakir.
Hello. Yes, Shakir. I spoke to the Minister. The tenders are on hold. She wanted to submit a tender as soon as possible. Yes, they have called for tenders. The minister has a secretary called Indrajit Vijaysurya. Go and meet with him and submit your tender. Make a visit to the Ministry of Foreign Employment. Meet Vijaysurya and give me a call.
Indrajit Vijaysurya ළඟට ගිහිල්ලා මට කෝල් එකක් දෙන්න. හරි.
What is the tender that is kept on hold until an associate of State Minister Ravindra Samravira is able to submit a tender? Is this in accordance with the government procurement process?
In Parliament yesterday, UNP parliamentarian Mujibur Rahman expressed grave concerns regarding the murder of rugby player Wasim Raja Deen.
Doubts are re-emerging regarding the death of Tajuddin. It seems like there is an invisible force attempting to sweep this under the carpet once more. They gave medical records saying this is not a murder. There are two doctors that used to work under Ananda Samarasekara. Both these doctors have spoken to the CID. Ananda Samarasekara had forced these doctors to make these statements. However, Ananda Samarasekara was not arrested. This is the issue. Bail was granted to him within a day. How does this happen? The Attorney General's Department does not provide advice to the CID. The AG's Department does not turn up in court. The CID informs the AG's Department that the case will be heard on this particular day, but they don't turn up. Tajuddin's murder was highlighted to ensure that justice is served. We didn't highlight his murder to collect votes.
The contentious question of dual citizenship was discussed at a media briefing of the Unity Through Power Devolution movement in Colombo today.
As long as Geeta is allowed to maintain her dual citizenship, she will have no issue. The Sri Lankan Parliament has said no. Now MP Jayakode rises in Parliament and says Geeta is not the only person. There are many others with dual citizenship. They all must go and cases must be filed. However, the foreign missions are not releasing details. That does not concern us. He says he is an MP with a policy. If a person is not a citizen of Sri Lanka, he or she cannot be a minister, MP, provincial councillor, head of a public institution or be a director of a public institution. That person must pledge he or she is not a foreign citizen.
A request was made to release the investigation report on the death of late Minister H.M. Ashraf.
The people have questions about the death of former minister and founder of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, M.H.M. Ashraf. How did it happen? Following the request made by the people, a presidential commission was appointed. The report of that commission must be made public. It has now come to light that the report is missing. That cannot happen. You must question whoever the commissioner was. They all must have a copy with them. A copy must be retrieved and made public. I make this humble plea from the President.
Addressing a gathering in Colombo today, Deputy Minister of National Policies and Economic Affairs, Dr. Harsha DaSilva, spoke on the financial allocations made for education. The Deputy Minister was speaking at an event to declare open the refurbished Advanced Level Chemistry Laboratory of Royal College, Colombo.
The request for this budget, which will come tomorrow, for education capital expenditure was 40 billion rupees. Of that 40 billion rupees, the government could only provide 18 billion rupees for essentially buildings. We are moving multiple billions into equipping labs, buying microscopes, buying Bunsen burners, buying computers. If we don't do that, we'll fall behind and we will not be what we call highly competitive. We have to be highly competitive. That's the only way that we can progress as a nation. That has to be always kept in mind, that education costs money. We give it free, but it costs money. What it means, free is 100% subsidy. By giving certain kids 100% subsidy, what you're doing is you are not giving some other kid who needs a subsidy, or not every kid who comes to Royal College needs 100% subsidy. Subsidies must be determined based on need. If we can ask the kid who comes to this school in a Mercedes-Benz to pay 10,000 rupees a term, if that happened, how many more labs can we get? How many more kids can become equipped to face the competitive world that is driven by pure knowledge?
According to the appropriations bill tabled by State Minister of Finance Eran Wickramaratne in Parliament on the 9th of October, the state's estimated total expenditure for 2018 amounts to 3,982 billion rupees. Deputy Minister Dr. Harsha DaSilva says a sum of 40 billion rupees has been allocated as capital expenditure for education. This is just over 1% of the state's estimated total expenditure.
We now take a look at tonight's picture that speaks louder than words.
I don't know why, I don't know why, ehema wenne ai. I don't know why, I don't know why, ehema wenne ai. Mati amatila owa danne. I don't know why. I don't know why, I don't know why, ehema